I was alone in the house my husband built with his own hands before the cancer took him. The kids had long moved out. My youngest, Sarah, only came back when she needed something. Tonight the wind howled like it wanted inside, rattling the old windows and their frames. I sat in Dad's recliner with a cup of chamomile gone cold, the only light coming from the flickering fireplace and the blue glow of my phone. 11:47 p.m. outside, the security lamp over the garage blinked twice and went dark. That lamp never blinked. It was hardwired, no motion sensor, no timer. Just on or off. I felt it before I heard it, the temperature dropped so fast my breath fogged. The fire shrank to embers as if someone had sucked the air out of the room. Then the front door lock clicked. Slow. Deliberate. Once. Twice. Like fingers testing. I didn't move. My phone showed no bars, no Wi-Fi. The landline on the side table was dead when I lifted it, no dial tone, just a hollow hiss like wine through a grave. Footsteps on the porch boards. Not hurried. Measured. The same rhythm my husband used when he came home late from the mill, trying not to wake me. But he's been dead 12 years. The door opened by itself. No wind. No push. It just sighed inward on tired hinges. A rectangle of black night stood in the doorway, darker than the dark outside. And something stepped through. Tall. The shape of a man, but wrong. The shoulders too wide, the head too small, like a coat hung on a broom handle. It wore my husband's old work jacket, the brown Carhartt with the burn hole on the left sleeve from '98. The one I couldn't bear to throw away, still hanging in the mudroom, except the sleeves were empty and swinging, and the hood was up even though there was no face inside, just a pit that swallowed the firelight. It spoke with his voice, but the words came out wet, like it was chewing on them. Miss me, Ruth? My heart slammed once, hard, then settled into a sick, slow thud. Because I knew that voice, but I also knew it had been silent since the undertaker closed the coffin lid. I found my own voice, thin but steady. You're not him. The thing tilted its head the way he used to when he was amused. The hood gaped wider, showing nothing but deeper black. I'm what he left inside the walls when he died screaming, it said. I've been patient. Waiting for the house to get quiet enough to hear me breathe. It took one step inside. The floorboards didn't creak, they sighed, like something underneath was relieved to feel weight again. I stood up slowly. My knees didn't shake. 12 years of burying loneliness had made me stronger than fear. Get out, I said. The thing laughed with my husband's laugh, only lower, longer, like it was pulling the sound up from the basement. Can't. Deed says this house is mine till the last owner dies in it. It lifted an arm that ended in too many fingers. And you're the last owner, Ruth. The fireplace went cold. Every photo on the mantel turned face down at once, frames clattering like teeth. I reached into the side pocket of the recliner, always kept it there since the break-ins 2 counties over, and pulled out the .38 my husband taught me to shoot. My hand didn't tremble. Deeds can be changed, I said, and cocked the hammer. The thing paused. The hood rippled as if something inside was tasting the air. You'd shoot your own husband? I already buried him, I answered. Whatever's wearing his skin can join him. Its mouth opened somewhere inside the darkness, too wide, no teeth, just a wet red tunnel, and it screamed with the sound the heart monitor made when it flatlined. The windows shattered outward. Glass rained on the porch like ice. I fired. Once. Twice. Center mass, the way he taught me. The jacket burst open. No blood. Just black moths pouring out, hundreds of them, beating the air with wet wings. They swarmed the room, blotting out the fire's last glow. I fired until the cylinder clicked empty, backing toward the hallway. The moths settled on every surface, folding their wings, becoming still. In the silence I heard it again, those measured footsteps, coming from upstairs now. From our bedroom. Descending. I ran to the kitchen, slammed the door, shoved the table against it. My hands found the junk drawer, the spare key box, The one thing I swore I'd never touch again after the funeral, the old property folder. Inside, the original deed from 1973, signed in my husband's neat engineer's hand, and beneath it the quitclaim I had the lawyer prepare the week after he died but never filed. Because I wasn't ready to let go. I was ready now. I grabbed the folder, the lighter fluid from the grill shelf, and the box of road flares I kept for emergencies. The back door stuck, warped from last year's flood, but I threw my shoulder into it and stumbled out into the yard. Behind me the house exhaled, a long, satisfied sound, like it had been holding its breath for 12 years. I sprinted across the frostbitten grass to the shed, flung open the door, and poured lighter fluid over the stacked cords of seasoned oak my husband had split the summer before he got sick. The moths were already coming, a black cloud rising from the chimney, blotting out the moon. I struck the flare. Red fire hissed to life. I looked back once. The upstairs bedroom window glowed, not with light, but with absence, a deeper dark shape like the outline of a man waving goodbye. I touched the flare to the wood. The shed went up like Judgment Day. Flames roared 30 feet high, licking the night sky. Heat punched me in the face, glorious and clean. I opened the folder, fed the old deed to the fire, then the unfiled quitclaim, watching the edges curl black, the ink bubble and vanish. The house screamed. Not wood burning, something older. The windows bled black moth wings that ignited midair, turning to ash before they hit the ground. I stood there in my nightgown and slippers while everything my husband and I had built turned to light and memory. When the fire department finally came, the house was already cinders and embers. They found me sitting on the tailgate of my truck, wrapped in a neighbor's blanket, drinking coffee someone pressed into my hands. "Ma'am, do you have anywhere to go?" the young firefighter asked. I looked at the smoldering foundation, steam rising where the basement used to be. "Yes," I said. "Anywhere but here." Behind the caution tape, in the ashes, something small shifted. A single brown Carhartt button, still warm, rolled to a stop against my slipper. I crushed it under my heel until it was dust. Then I got in the truck, turned the key, and drove toward the sunrise with every window down and the radio loud enough to drown out anything that might try to follow.